found yourself in a situation where every second counted and the weight of failure loomed large? I once witnessed such a story in the quiet town of Maplewood, a place where life usually moved at a gentle pace, much like the nearby Maple River. Maplewood was known for its golden cornfields, white picket fences, and the sound of wind chimes hanging on porches. The town thrived on simple joys: Sunday church gatherings, homemade pies at the diner, and the annual harvest festival. And right at the heart of it all was Ethan Moore, a young carpenter known for his dedication and meticulous craftsmanship. Ethan grew up in his father Mike's woodshop, where the scent of fresh pine lingered in the air. Mike was in Maplewood. His handmade furniture adorned every home, and his work was the pride of the town. But that year, everything changed. Mike had fallen ill just as they were preparing for the biggest order of the year, furnishing the entire town square for the Harvest Festival. With only 3 weeks left, time was slipping through their fingers like grains of sand. If they didn't meet the deadline, not only would the family's reputation be ruined, but they would also face severe financial hardship. One crisp October evening, Ethan sat by his father's bedside, the orange glow of the sun casting long shadows across the room. "Dad, take care of it," Ethan said, his voice steady despite the storm brewing inside him. Dave. That night, Ethan lay awake, staring at the wooden beams above his bed. His thoughts raced like wildfire. The workshop was filled with half-finished tables and chairs, and the clock was mercilessly ticking away. How could he possibly complete everything on his own? The next morning, despite the frosty air biting his face, Ethan decided to seek advice from Mr. Harris, a retired craftsman known for his wisdom. Mr. Harris lived in an old farmhouse on the edge of town, surrounded by towering oak trees. "You're carrying a heavy burden, Ethan," Mr. Harris said, his voice gentle but firm. "But remember, when you're racing against time, it's not just about speed, it's about heart and strategy." Ethan nodded, though doubt still clung to him like a shadow. "You need help," Mr. Harris continued. "Rally the town. People here care about you and your family." First, the idea seemed impossible. Everyone was busy preparing for the festival or managing their own farms. But as Ethan walked back through town, determination ignited within him. He had to try. That afternoon, he stood in the middle of the town square, his voice steady but urgent. "I need your help," he called out to the gathered crowd. "My father's shop is behind schedule, and if we don't finish the furniture, the festival won't be the same. I can't do this alone." There was a moment of silence, and then Mrs. James, the town baker, stepped forward. "Count me in," she said. "My son can help too." Soon more voices joined. "I'll sand the wood," offered Tom, the blacksmith. "And I'll paint the chairs," added Sarah, the schoolteacher. By the end of the day, Ethan had a team, neighbors, friends, and even strangers who believed in him. The next 3 weeks were a blur of sawdust, paint, and laughter. The workshop buzzed with energy as everyone pitched in. There were moments of doubt when a piece didn't fit or a chair leg broke, but each time they found a solution. One night, as they worked late into the evening, Ethan looked around the workshop. The flickering lanterns cast warm light on the faces of people who had come together for a common purpose. His heart swelled with gratitude. On the final day, just as the first rays of dawn broke over Maplewood, the last piece of furniture was completed. Exhausted but exhilarated, the team stood back to admire their work.